Welcome in, guys. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. I don't have my clicker on me. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment. Let me know you're in the live stream, and make sure that you click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. And I can promise you this, and I can assure you this, there are going to be more days than Monday through Friday in the coming months where I will be live streaming. Things are picking up. There we go. That's the only way. That is the only way I can catch the comments right now with this setup. Things are really picking up right now. Things are really picking up, and as I'm assessing price right now, we're hitting. Bitcoin is up 7.5%. We're approaching $68,000. It is very possible that during today's live stream, we may break and we may break into new all-time highs. If you guys don't know this already and you're not following me on X, on top of doing the live stream right now, and again, potentially catching Bitcoin reaching a new all-time high live on this channel, which would be so appropriate given I am the Crypto Bull God, I'm also going to be doing a Twitter Spaces and X Spaces with Koosh. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I didn't have enough time when I tweeted it out there to put in the agenda. I tweeted that out earlier. I've had an extremely busy day today. My eyes are rolling over looking at numbers. But getting out here and talking about price action was way, 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 way too important. Guys, you got to understand this brief moment in time that we are witnessing right now is what all of us bulls have been waiting for years. Okay? I have been emphatic about that you need to have a plan in place to capitalize on this opportunity. And we're going to get into a little bit more conversation in terms of outlook going into this year during that X Spaces. So make sure you catch that at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't want to steal too much thunder from that Spaces. But what I wanted to do today, first before we get into the charts, I want to see who's in the live stream. But I want to get into the immediate price action that's getting in on Bitcoin, have a little bit of conversation about some of these meme coins that are popping off, explain the post that I put out there earlier today, that I sold some of my meme coin position and put it into Casper. I'll explain that rationale as well, and we'll get into the relative health of the altcoin market as well. So let's see who we have in the live stream. Black Oil, good to see you in here. See an update on Harmony. I just posted it out the other day. That's your update. Let's see. What else do we have? Juan, welcome in. Kevin, let's fucking go. Kyle, as always. So, let's get into the immediate price action here. Now, I've been sharing with you guys for several days now that we're in another bull pennant, right? We're in another bull pennant. We're looking at the 12-hour. It didn't have to pan out. It still doesn't have to pan out. This could be one big fake out. We could roll over. That's not really the way things are shaping up right now. But right now, we've broken out of this bull pennant, and I've shown you the technical target up towards $77,000 to $78,000. Based on the breakout, it looks like the technical target is right at $77,000, right? So we'll have to see if that pans out. Now, the last bull pennant worked out to a T. We hit $64,000. We're up here at $77,000. So what do we want to see in the market right now, guys, right? You're looking across your positions. And I apologize for the audio. This is the way it's going to be all week. If you're new here, this is not my usual setup. I'm not in my home office. I will be back in my home office next week. Believe me, I'm missing it very, very much at this moment. But you're looking at your position right now and you're thinking to yourself, like, let's say you own Casper and you're like, what the hell is going on with Casper? Casper's down 5% today. Casper is down 5.5% today. Some of your other altcoins aren't too. Chlor AI is down 6%. What is going on? Guys, the worst thing you can do in a situation like this is look at the coins that are pumping, begin to take some of those positions that you've established and dump it into the ones, take some of your position that's dumping and put it into the ones that are pumping. You are going to miss out, okay? I'm again, never financial advice on this channel. but it's at this stage of the cycle, your position is your position. Any small positioning that you do trade wise, of course, you can mix up what you're trading on like I do. But those positions that you felt rock solid on and accumulating in, remain convicted, guys. There's a rotation occurring. Okay. Ideally, what we would want to see in the market, the most bullish scenario that we could see occur in the market, is for Bitcoin to break its all-time high while I'm live streaming, right? No, the most bullish scenario that we could expect to see in this market, Bitcoin breaks up above its all-time high, okay, at $69,000. Let's say it hits that $77,000 mark. It then just starts to sideways consolidate above that roughly $69,000 area. That would allow price to cool off, because we do need some of these price indicators to cool off. We don't want to get too hot too soon, because if that happens, that parabola that Bitcoin has entered is going to have a major correction associated with it. Okay? What we want to see once we blow past that all-time high is a consolidation above all-time high. Now, what that will allow is a capital rotation to occur. Okay? Millions and billions of dollars that are in the Bitcoin market right now will begin to rotate into the altcoins. You'll see Ethereum pumping, you'll see Ethereum Classic pumping, you'll see Cardano, XRP, Solana. You see all these altcoins, and then it'll trickle down to the lower market caps. The other thing that it would do, okay, if Bitcoin were to surpass its all-time high and consolidate above it, there'll be a lot more froth and momentum from retail investors. Something I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on is a Google search trend for Coinbase. I want to see that thing really begin to tick up, because as that begins to tick up, what that's telling me is the retail investor, okay, not the investor, the retail individual is starting to get back into this market. There's sort of two flows of money that are going to pump your bags, okay, and are going to lift up the market. There's a rotation, a risk-on rotation that's taking place from existing funds that are in Bitcoin. They're going to bleed over into the altcoins. And then there's new capital, which is going to enter the market, which is also going to create some froth, okay? So that's something that we want to keep an eye on. Is you can search Google search trends for Coinbase as well as Bitcoin, okay? The other thing that I'm watching very, very closely, I hate this laptop. The other thing that I'm watching very, very closely, it's kind of comical. Now, you know that I have not published yet what my topping indicators are. I've still been giving that a lot of thought, and I don't want to publish my video until I'm actually back in my home office. But I have a pretty good idea at this point in terms of what topping indicators I'm going to be looking at. One chart in particular I want you to keep an eye on. I want you to keep an eye on the MACD on the weekly. Okay? Now, we can take a look at this on the 2-week, and we can take a look at this on the weekly. But there's going to be some level of, there's going to be some indication, whether it's the weekly or 2-week, that I'm going to use for my topping signal on the MACD and RSI. But in general, what you'll see is there's descending resistance on the MACD that has occurred with all of these blow-off tops, okay? All these impulsive tops. We still have quite a ways to go. We're about 65% away from this descending area of resistance on the 2-week MACD. That's the same point in time we were at back in December of 2020. So if we were just following that, and we felt that we had roughly the same amount of time as we did back in December of 2020, well, that still gives us another 4 to 5 months that we can anticipate for some major froth to occur within this market, which aligns with my primary view. Now, this is something I'm going to speak to on the X Spaces later. But again, my primary view is that Bitcoin is going to have a blow-off parabolic top much sooner than everyone thinks, right? I've illustrated this to you. Nothing has changed. There's nothing in the price data that has lended itself to me reform. It's not here. I can't pull it up real quick. Let's see. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, this is my rough expectation. Okay. And nothing about this has changed. Now, I know back in September when I put this together, people probably thought I was a moon boy, right? Far from it. You can see we followed this very nicely. We're a couple weeks ahead. But this in general is my predominant hypothesis. But the other thing we have to be prepared for, and the other thing that I'm very, very, very open to, is the idea that we could enter some sort of a parabolic rise here, a sharp correction and consolidation, and then we really don't have our blow off top until the end of 2024, going into early 25, right? Now, the key is, well, CVG, how are you going to determine that? Well, again, based on my topping signals, if all 5 of these or 6 of these things, whatever I come up with, trigger, that's telling me I better take some capital off the table, right? Nobody ever got hurt taking profits. No one ever gets hurt taking profits. Okay. So really, there's two main hypotheses that I am considering for purposes of this market cycle. Okay. One thing is for sure. One thing I feel very confident in stating, and I want you to remember me saying this. Just like in late 23, when everyone said we were going to do this, no, we were way down here. Everyone said we were going to do this going into the halving and then eventually go up. That was the herd mentality, right? Don't get caught being part of the herd. The herd mentality is generally always wrong, okay? Taking a contrarian view, which is founded on education, will work very, very well for you. Okay, it has worked very, very well for me so far the past couple years. Now, what else did I want to show you? I wanted to quick jump into dominance here and take a look at what is playing out with Bitcoin dominance. Now, as you know, I was expecting more than likely one last gasp up towards 58%, and it looks like we're getting that, right? Look at this RSI. Notice how we're getting that negative divergence on the RSI that I've spoken about. We're still below this descending line. I'm expecting that to hold. So even if you see the RSI go above this descending line of what was once support, it's going to roll over. Bitcoin, in my opinion, has one last big gasp in it above all-time highs before you start to see money flow into Ethereum and all the rest of your major alts. Look at Ethereum right now. Ethereum, guys, I'm telling you, I have been evaluating these charts for years, and while I can't come out here and I can't tell you with certainty what's going to happen, there's no technical analyst that can do that. This just feels so similar to all of this price action that was developing around here, where Ethereum eventually took the lead. We're getting closer and closer to Ethereum stealing the spotlight. The other thing, we're pressed right up here against resistance at 35 to 3,600. Once that breaks, $4,000 plus is going to happen very, very quickly. Look at where we're at on the ETH BTC chart. On the ETH BTC chart, this is a 2-week chart. We're pressed right down here. This auto scale is getting on my nerves. This is a 2-week, and you can see right now we're pressed right here on support, right? This is a historic area of support if we go back in time. We wicked here, this goes all the way back. I've been sharing this chart forever. This goes back to January of 2017. Bitcoin is sort of getting its last big movement up here. And like I shared in an earlier post, I'm fully expecting there to be the first true alt season coming up in as early as mid to late March. You're really going to start to see a lot of these altcoins start to go off, okay? Think about it this way. If your largest crypto asset can be up 6, 7, 8%, 10% in a single day, what are your altcoins going to do? What will your altcoins do? And if you haven't been here for that, you're going to find out pretty quickly what they are capable of doing. Now, The other question that you may be asking yourself is what's going on with all of these meme coins? So this is not very surprising. One of the things you're also going to notice, now again, this live stream is called All in the Charts, right? So the whole premise behind this live stream is that I use all of this price data to tell me what is most probable moving forward, right? Because there's all this historical data. I'm just a data scientist. That's all. I could care less for human emotions and what the narrative is, okay? But what you need to understand is that there's always a narrative that fits the chart, okay? I was patiently holding Doge, waiting for this thing to run off, okay? And as you can see, this is the Doge BTC relativity chart. We were just riding this area of support right here. And you can see, based on current price action, okay, this is on the weekly. Look at this monumental rounding bottom here and this huge escalation in price. Now, I think we're going to face some initial resistance more up towards the 20 to 30 cent area before we get any sort of a significant pullback. But there will be a narrative to fit this chart. Elon will come out and tweet something. Tesla will be accepting Doge. X will be accepting Doge. There'll be a narrative. But the chart was telling us this the whole time. I mean, if you look at the Doge BTC relativity chart, look at this monumental, this is on a monthly, look at this monumental bullish divergence on the RSI. I mean, this increasing value of relative strength index on the Doge BTC chart has been occurring since February of 2017, guys. It's been here for 7 years, okay? That's all I need to see. So you have Doge going off. You have Bonk going off. You have Pepe going off. You have more meme coins going off. Shiba Inu going off. You have all of these things occurring that are eerily reminiscent of what happened in 2020. The same thing happened in 2020. And if you were paying very close attention to what I shared with you, I said, in my opinion, I never offer financial advice, but I said, in my opinion, some percentage of your portfolio needs to be in meme coins. Okay? And I shared with you that I personally own Bonk and Doge. Should have owned some more Pepe. Almost owned some Shiba Inu, but didn't get into it. Should have had some Pepe because my $5 joke of owning Pepe went up to $35. And I even put 1,000 or 2,000 in that. That would be up much more handsomely. But we can only be invested in so many coins, right? But Bonk is up tremendous today. I told you guys I could see that hitting a $30 billion market cap and being in the top 20. These social tokens, these environments they create within the community, I don't know if you've noticed, but a large percentage of the population that is invested in crypto, we call them degens, right? They are a younger generation, a rebellious younger generation that thrives on social tokens. Why would you, let me ask you a question. Why would you not want to build your investments in a way that understands the market versus trying to fight the trend? If a chart looks bearish, but it has a fundamental backing to it, would I rather invest my money in something fundamentally that is sound but has a shitty chart, or something that even has a decent chart and a huge social narrative that a lot of people are flocking to? The latter, right? And this is why it pays to be diversified. The profits, and Bonk's a great example. Bonk is nowhere near finished running. Okay, it's up to market cap ranking. Last I looked, it was at like 45 or 46. I don't know where it's at. It's at 46, okay? Again, I see this being a top 20 token. I took some of those profits in Bonk, and I stuck them in Casper. Well, why did I stick them in Casper? Why? I saw Bonk upwards of 60% today. First, it started going over 50%, then it was up 60%. And I said, the opportunity is way too good. I accumulated at much lower levels. I'm taking some profits and putting it in Casper. Casper's been in this massive accumulation. This is a great example of a token. Now, in some cases, some of these tokens that are not running really well, that's an indication of how weak, in my opinion, they will be once things take off. But in some cases, you have tokens that are in a very strong accumulation trend. Okay? And they just haven't taken off yet. As you can see here, I am going to, and we can come back to this video and you tell me if I'm correct. I'm betting on my technical analysis and education, not on a narrative, not on an emotional view. I am betting on myself, my education, and my grounded logic. And my grounded education tells me that more than likely this fucking thing is going to go off. Okay? Look at the relative strength index that's building on the weekly. Look at how strong the relative strength index is as price has been chipping and chopping away. I will not be surprised one day when I wake up and Casper is up 100%. You heard it here. I think it is very, 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 very reasonable based on prior moves in this market that I've seen that you will very quickly miss your opportunity in a project like this, and it goes from 3 to 4 cents all the way up to 8 to 11 cents. It is going to happen quickly. That's how fast this market moves. So again, there's an element where it feels uncomfortable. I have a winning project that I've stuck a decent amount of money into at very low levels, and now I've seen it go up. I've seen it do a 4 to 5x, 6x, okay, over where I was purchasing it. Taking some off, as uncomfortable as it feels, it's starting to get a little overinflated. Taking some off and putting it in something else I am confident in from both a fundamental and a technical perspective, something that's just been consolidating with all this bullish divergence, it makes too much sense, even though there's a part of it where there's a human emotion that's uncomfortable because you're taking some of that trade position that's running really hard and putting it in something that isn't moving. And again, that position that I moved around is not part of my long-term hold bag. That's part of my trading bag. Okay, just to be very, very clear. Whatever I own and I've been invested in for a long time, I haven't touched any of that. Digibyte's a great example. I accumulated that at very low levels. It's sitting there. I have not touched it. Look for my Digibyte video to come out very soon. Okay, Bitcoin. Okay, HBAR, Harmony One, Caspa, Alchemy Pay. Trying to think of other ones that I've been invested for a while. So these are some tokens that I've been invested in for a while. I've accumulated at low levels, and I'm not looking to flip these things around. Okay, Decentraland Man, obviously. I'm not looking to flip these things around. Let's see what other comments we have here. We've been going. Thank you for everyone tuning in here. I see you have a decent turnout today. Make sure that you show a little love with a thumbs up. Let's see who we have in here. Rashid, always awesome to see you. Track, good as always. Okay, so I have a really good question here, and I want to answer this. So let me be as direct as possible. Raghorn asks, is your plan to take a good chunk of your profits into stablecoins, Bitcoin, rest out to your bank when it's time? I'm going to be watching the Bitcoin indicators that I really need to get out there soon to tell me when Bitcoin is getting extremely frothy. And as my altcoins continue to run, if I get the strong sense that we are entering a parabolic phase, obviously, the Bitcoin's had its blow off top, and pretty much the market cycle is done. Yeah, obviously I'm going to be scaling out of everything, but even if I don't feel like everything is completely topping out, depending where some of these projects do run, I do have certain target prices on some of these assets that I hold. I'm definitely going to be selling some of my altcoins and profiting from that. What I will do with those funds, depending how large of a win that is for me, more than likely some of that I'll hold aside and cash out. And then some of that I will hold aside and look to reinvest at appropriate levels. But even if I don't feel like Bitcoin is completely done with its parabolic top, if I have altcoins that hit certain price levels I've already identified, I'm planning on selling some out. I'm planning on cashing out and profiting. Because the question you have to ask yourself is, what if you're wrong? Right? A paper gain is just that. It's a paper gain. It's nice to look at on your phone or it's nice to look at on your Ledger wallet, but until you sell, it's not a realized gain. So that's how I plan on playing it. Um, Track, the short answer is yes, it will be more difficult to chart because there's no price confluence. The longer answer is the main thing I will rely on are Fibonacci extensions, which we've spoken about. Something else, real quick, guys. Something else that is not getting a lot of attention, or really any attention. I don't see anyone talking about this. You do realize Bitcoin has already broken its impulsive top. Now, I understand that $69,000 is the all-time high, but again, this is part of an expanded flat correction. This is an irregular correction in an Elliott wave. So this whole thing that created the all-time high, we only went 5% above the all-time high here at 64,895. I thought it was 64,000. Okay, it's 64,900. We've already broken that. So what I'm saying is price, and I don't know why this isn't getting enough attention. I'm going to bring this up on the Twitter Spaces and see what Kush has to say about it. But prices have already technically broken our impulsive top. We saw all of the momentum come into this move, all of that RSI topping out, the MACD topping out. Everything told us in hindsight 2020, this was the parabolic impulsive top. This was an irregular correction. So while it is true we haven't created new highs in the price of Bitcoin, it's an absolute 100% truth that we've already surpassed our impulsive top. Just like in 2020 when we broke above 19,000, I'll just say 670. I won't say the actual number because I don't like reading off those three numbers in a row. But 19,670, when we broke 19,670, that was breaking the impulsive top and creating new all-time highs. In this case, we haven't created new all-time highs, but we have broken the impulsive top, which is not getting enough attention. What's up, Donkey? Evan, good to see you. Who cares on the ETF news? Thank you for letting me know, Track, but, news is noise. Appreciate it, Black Oil. Let's fucking go, Josh. Oh, my session keeps disconnecting. Oh, this is disheartening. This is why I am excited to get back to the home office, right? For everyone new tuning in, this is not my regular setup. This is not the regular setup for CBG. This is not normal. Okay. I have seen the rainbow chart. I have not looked at the Bitcoin rainbow chart in a while. AI bags, what's up? Okay, let's take a look at a few other charts here. I don't mind if you don't mind if we go a little over, although I do have to stop this live stream at some point because I do have that X spaces and I also have to eat food at some point. So let me, stupid thing. I hate this laptop, guys. I cannot wait to get a new laptop. If you want to support CBG getting a new laptop, hit the thumbs up so I can get myself a new laptop. Also, if you want to see CBG do this full time and leave his job, did I say that? Hit the thumbs up. Wow, this connection is awful. I can't even pull up a chart. That is horrendous. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Well, we're trying to pull up total 3, guys. Thank you for the patience and bearing with me. Let's try this again. I think it's pulling up now. It's unbelievable. Let's get off some of these views. Come on. That's horrible. Okay, here we go. Now, total three. Let's see what's going on with total three. Now, when I was on this live stream on Friday, we took a look at total three. So, what really is going on with total three right now? Well, okay, I'll show you exactly what I see. And this doesn't have to map up move for move here, but let's first take a look at the price indicators. Now, one of the strong things I would signal to you at first on the relative strength index, we have this RSI well above 70 and it's staying above 70, which is what we want to see. Now, it's important to understand, okay? It's a true statement if you said to me, hey, a relative strength index over 70 implies we're overbought. You are correct. But as I have shared in times past, the most parabolic and strongest moves that we see in the market are when you see charts like this that stay at 70 and above. Look what happened here. Look at how the relative strength index was above 70, and we got this huge advance in the altcoin market. That is what is taking place right now. We are above 70. We've been above here for an extended period of time, okay? Now, the other thing to note, like I said, MACD looks good, stochastic RSI looks good, but let's take a look at price. Let's take a look at price. Once we've moved out of this Gaussian channel, I shared this before, but once we moved out of here, you see this initial move up, consolidation, one more move up, a little consolidation, and then we blast it off. Look what happened here. A move up, consolidation, a move up, maybe a little bit of consolidation, and blast off. Okay? So again, I'm not telling you that by tomorrow or by the end of the week, you're going to see all your altcoins going off. I think the way the charts are setting up right now, it's going to happen this month, though. That I feel very confident in asserting. Key areas of resistance that we want to see break here. Let's take a look at the altcoin market and ask the question, where is there a major area of resistance? Look at how much higher we are in the charts relative to where we were a couple years ago, guys. You have to understand, there's so much market and money in this market right now. Think about it this way. Bitcoin's value today is significantly higher than it was several years ago. That money is going to flow into your altcoins, and there's going to be new retail money that's going to flow in. So there's going to be a significant amount of capital that is going to be flowing into altcoins. So I would put a range of resistance right there. Okay, this is a major zone of resistance. Let's see where we're at. We're right in there. So I think once you see total three just has to move up another 7%, roughly 7%, 6 to 7%. We're going to be breaking a major area of resistance where there's not a lot of price confluence above here. There really isn't. There's not a lot of price confluence up here, guys. So in other words, what I'm saying to you, restated differently, is to replace total three with another name here. Once we break out of 700 billion, which is only roughly 6% away, all of your altcoins outside of the top 10, because that's what this is. Total three is all of your altcoins out of the top 10. Total three is going to be in blast off mode towards $1 trillion plus, and once we clear $1 trillion, I mean, the sky is the limit. This is going to take off pretty hard. You can see here in the start of the new year in January of 2021, we went from 150 billion all the way up to $1 trillion. Okay, so, and again, if what I'm saying to you is price for Bitcoin right now, because if we look at price on the monthly, the argument is we've already broken the impulsive top. But right now, in terms of all-time high, this thing looks like it's ready to break right now by the time I start doing the spaces, or by tomorrow. I mean, I'd be surprised if this doesn't break by tomorrow. $69,000 is a sneeze away. Well, the last time we were there, Okay? Just understand, the last time we were there was December of 2020. So December of 2020 was right here. You can see how quickly this move went. It was nothing but up for 5 months, 4 to 5 months. Okay? That also lines perfectly with what I've shared here. Now, I've given credit where credit was due on the technical analyst that pointed me to look at some of these price indicators. I'm not going to rehash that, but I gave credit where credit was due. However, no one has looked at all, really technically, 4 of these indicators on the monthly to see when they've all fired. And what I've tried to share with you guys is when all 4 of these indicators fire, the Vortex indicator, the Traders Dynamic Index, the ADX, and the DI, when all 4 fire bullish on the monthly, we have seen a parabolic rise in price. Okay? So you can see back here, this parabolic rise lasted roughly 11 months. I believe it was 11 months. Here it lasted roughly, 6 months? And it looks like here we're just getting started. So we'll have to see if it's a lot quicker. 4 months, 5 months. But again, all 4 of these have fired, guys. And again, I think I had someone, in the small chance this person is listening, I had someone come up to me the other day who recognized me because I'm traveling. I'm in North Florida right now. I had someone come up to me and say something interesting. Of course, it always throws me off. And the few times someone has come up to me and said, Crypto Bulga, I'm like, how the hell do you know me? But it always throws me off at first. But he said to me, do you believe in the left translated cycle? And I said, I do. It's my primary view. And then he started asking me other questions. And what I said to him is, the most important thing you can do is to have a plan in place in terms of how you want to scale out of your investments and realize what it is you're looking at the charts that's telling you how to scale out. Because you need price indicators and price data to tell you when to sell out. You can have a primary view, right? You can have a primary view that's telling you this, but I also have an alternate view that's telling me maybe something like this. Okay? So that's also possible. But what if we also triple top? What if we come up here to about $75,000 and roll over? That's a possibility, guys. There's a possibility for everything. So I think it's less important that you stick to your main hypothesis. That was one of the biggest faults that I had in 2021. I had a main hypothesis, I stuck to it, and I ignored certain risk factors. I am not making that mistake again. And that's why it's more important, in my opinion, to know what is telling you to sell your investments. Okay? Because that point in time when you're getting knocked, in the back of the head and saying, hey, it's time to sell out, it's a smart thing to do. It may not emotionally feel that way, but logically, based on the homework you've done, it is time to sell your investments. It is time to scale out. Okay? That is much more important, in my opinion, having been here for a long period of time, versus sticking to a primary view, and you know that primary view is going to pan out. No, please don't be that person. Please don't be that person, or you'll be me in 2021, and you won't profit from all of the smart decisions you made when you invested at low levels. Guys, that's going to do it for today. I'll see if there's any quick questions. Yeah, apologies for the camera. So let me see if I can quickly... Yeah, so if I block, let me see what you guys were saying here. Your videos in the bottom right corner blocks a review of the timeline in your fractal. So the timeline on my fractal, guys, for all those who didn't see here, my primary view has been that Bitcoin tops in the first half of this year. Okay, no later than by like July. Here I have it topping at the very beginning of June, but I could see it going into July. This is my primary view, which would mean your alts would top out 30 to 60 days later. Okay, so if let's say Bitcoin did top out by the first week in July, your alts are topping first week of August, first week of September. This is my primary view. But again, I'm very, very open to getting this parabola ending here in a way, because you have to keep in mind, my view is that we are in the midst of a final fifth blow-off wave in an Elliott wave structure. That fifth wave has 5 subcomponents. There's 5 waves in there. So I'm very open to the idea that this third wave comes up here as part of the fifth wave, has a blow-off top in the high $70,000 range, consolidates, has its wave 4 correction, and then we don't see the fifth wave until early 2025 or late 2024. I'm very open to that. But that's less important to me. What's more important is, what am I looking at? What am I evaluating to tell me it will be smart to sell my investments? And that's what I want you guys to focus on. And that's why I'm so anxious to get out the indicators that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you and share with you, what am I actually going to be looking at that's telling me that I need to take capital off the table? Because I can tell you right now, you could take a step back and say, well, I just know when that's going to be. I have a view, and I feel like that is foolhardy and hubris. That's hubris at 100%. Things are going to get way too emotional, way too frothy, and it's going to feel, I guarantee you something. It's going to feel uncomfortable to sell your investments because you are going to be watching things go. You are going to open up your portfolio, and you're not even going to believe what you're saying. Part of you will feel dirty inside. I don't know if this makes any sense to a few of you out there this may. You will look at your portfolio and you will feel absolutely dirty about having that much capital. How is it? I mean, I felt like this would happen, but it actually feels a little dirty having this much money. Yeah, that's reality. And so that's that emotional side you need to weed out and say, okay, well, all 5 of these things triggered, I'm selling out 20%. I'm selling out another 20%. This happened, I'm scaling out another 20%. I'm going to let this last 10 to 15% ride. Okay? You have to be that unemotional, because if you do not have a plan in place, I'm telling you, it's going to get way too frothy and way too emotional, even for the best of us. You want to feel dirty. Don't we all? All right, guys, I'm going to catch a bite to eat, and then I'm going to be on the X Spaces with Koosh in about 37 minutes, so I hope to see you there. Until next time, everybody, spread awareness and carry the education forward. I'll be here all week charting for you guys. Tomorrow is TA Q&A, so make sure you come in tomorrow with your TA questions. Too bad we didn't hit an all-time high during the live stream. That would have been epic. But there is, Digibot is moving. I need to get that video out. But we still have a chance to hit it during the X Spaces, so we'll see if we can hit an all-time high tonight. It could be tonight, guys. Stay tuned. We could be above $70,000 as early as this evening, guys.